Thank you for checking out Geeked Up Paranormal podcast clips. Make sure you go over to the main channel, Geeked Up Paranormal, to check out the podcast in its entirety. The link will be down in the description.
So I know before it became the sanatorium, a general, right?
Yep.
Turned it in. It was a school first. He made a school for his kid.
Yeah.
Because school was so far away.
Mm-hmm. They made a one-room school for his kid and the teacher. Which I can't. I should have organized this.
The teacher.
Miss Lena Williams. That was wrong. Cut that.
No cuts on this podcast.
That was cut.
No cuts.
I can't find it, actually. I could swear I had it.
So,
but I probably just read it.
The teacher pretty much gave the name Waverly Hills to that school due to a series of books that she liked.
Yes, which is a fun fact, I guess you'd say, is Waverly had 2 E's in it, but along the way it dropped one of the E's, and they don't really know why.
Probably, I would say the hospital.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could.
I bet you that's when it dropped. It was when Waverly Hills Sanatorium came about. Was there anything else other, as far as we know?
Before it was Waverly?
Before it was Waverly Hills Sanatorium?
No.
And after the school?
No, it went from the school to Waverly, and then to the asylum, and then to what it is now.
So after the TB hospital, it went to a mental ward.
Yeah, so the Waverly itself as the hospital closed in 1961. Then it was abandoned for a little while, but not long. And then it went into being an asylum.
And about 8,000 people died to TB.
But they tried to say 100,000. But records.
Probably to rack up that money like hospitals are now with the coronavirus.
But as far as like death records and stuff that is documented, it's only 8,000.
So 8,000 deaths, and some of these deaths are due to like
Suicides, or is that what you're saying about?
Well, not suicides, like malpractice. I guess if that's how you say it, pretty much where doctors didn't really know what this disease was, and they tried to treat it the way that they thought would cure it, as far as breaking ribs, taking out a full lung, parts of the lung, blowing a balloon up in the lung.
Also sandbags. They put sandbags where the lungs were supposed to be.
Yeah, and then I've heard also they've done electroshock therapy there.
But that was when it was the asylum. That's how they...
I've heard it was even... they even did a little bit of it when it was a TB hospital.
Well, you gotta think, though, it was new, so everything was experimental. They didn't really know what they was doing. But also, other parts of the treatment was lots of sun, a better diet, vitamins.
Yeah.
I think the TB hospital had a total of 5 sunrooms on each floor that all the patients would go to and sit in there for hours. But also, a lot of the deaths too were the patients that were there for TB, their kids were also in the children's wing. And it wasn't even sick. It was pretty much, since your parents are here, you're going to be here.
Yeah.
And then they ended up getting it too.
And then we had 2 nurses that died there.
Yeah, both attached to room 502.
Yeah, one got pregnant, and the doctor didn't want the baby that she got.
No, she was just pregnant out of wedlock, which was
with the doctor.
I don't know. I don't know.
From what I've heard, it was with the doctor that worked there, that was already married, and he didn't want the child, and so she jumped out of off the roof.
Yeah. But she was the nurse for 502.
502. And then you had another nurse that hung herself in 502 or outside the room of the room of 502?
No, it was in it. It was from the light fixture.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah, I got that right here.
Do we know why she hung herself?
Well, this one says. So this is just what I have on here. Despite room 502 seemed to invite sadness, according to local legend, the head nurse of room 502 was found hanging from the light fixture. This was believed to be suicide triggered by depression over an unwanted pregnancy. So they kind of
she hung herself.
I'm getting mixed on the two nurses.
So I know from what I was told, there's two nurses. One jumped from 502, but then they're saying she jumped from the roof.
Yeah.
But that's documented. And then there was a nurse that hung herself.
Well,
from when growing up, I was told that the nurse that hung herself was the one that was pregnant. But
which is what I have.
We got so much mixed information of which nurse was pregnant, and I think that was due to so many people telling the story over time and it getting mixed up and mingled. Especially since you had two nurses, pretty much with 502. They're both connected to 502.
I think stories are getting crossed.
Yeah.
Honestly. Because right below it I have another nurse who also worked 502 jumped off the roof to her death.
Yeah.
But it says who might have done it and why are unknown. So.
And that leads to another thing, a local legend is that room 502, you'll see it like go from dark to a light color, like red light, and it'll get real hot in 502, and that people see an apparition of a nurse jumping from room 502 to her death.
So, see.
Then there's also, from me growing up, from hearing stories from pretty much our elders, and they've seen a apparition of a nurse hanging herself in front of 502 or in 502, and like the room went from super cold to super hot to super cold to super hot, back and forth.
Well, and you also have
in the summer or in the winter.
Yeah, and supposedly that's one of the main rooms you get activity in.
Yeah, I know.
So that makes me wonder though, like, did the room have something before all this started? You know what I'm saying? Like a sadness or a darkness to cause these nurses to do that? Or did it just did it develop over time? You know what I'm saying?
True.
Because something could cause the nurses to act this way.
Yeah, like I wonder if even the land, maybe the land has ancient, like, ancestor or something like that. Like maybe Native Americans might have been buried.
Yeah, and they disturbed it.
Or something like ancient, like encrypted or demon-wise.
Yeah, because I couldn't find anything about the land before the general decided to move out there. But, I mean, all this land was once somebody's before ours, so you never know.
Yeah, true. And what I think is weird is how it's room 502 and the area code is 502.
Yes.
That to me is just, it blows my mind and it's wicked.
Yeah, same.